Ladies and germs, what is up? Welcome to Game Boy Week on Super Beard Bros guest week, and who better to be with me this week for the Game Boy than our old pal Davis from the Warp Zone. What's up, man?
Dude, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Anytime I come back and I get to play through like memories of my childhood, I am super down.
Oh, and this game is a classic.
The most classic.
Yeah, one of the most. Okay, so Kirby's Dream Land came out in 1992, towards the end of the year. I think it also came out in 1992 in Japan, and it's the first ever Kirby game.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
A big franchise, humble beginnings, I think.
Yeah, and so just a few little tidbits about this game real quick. Masahiro Sakurai is the guy who is like kind of like the brains of Kirby. The brains behind Kirby, Masahiro Sakurai, which is the same guy who does Smash Bros. Sakurai. You know him.
Yeah, which is why I think there's a lot of Kirby references in
there's some
Smash
serious
Bros.
Kirby love, yeah. And so, him and Miyamoto like sort of like had a sort of disagreement over what Kirby should look like. Miyamoto wanted him to be yellow, and Sakurai wanted the pink one that we have. And Sakurai, obviously, he invented him, so whatever. Yeah, and so because of the feud, it was like still going on. You know, like Nintendo of America made the box art for Kirby in America white. He's like white on the cover. And so because of that, like when it originally came out, people thought he was some kind of like weird ghost who would like possess people and like take their
things.
Yeah.
Well, in this game, he doesn't actually. You don't get powers the same way.
I know that, but this is like what happened. Like this is just like colored people's opinions of the character. It's like kind of like what they thought. So let's just jump in.
Yeah.
It's a short game. We'll probably get through the whole game this week. We're not gonna do, just so you guys know, we're not gonna do like your typical Beard Bros like interesting things this week. Whoops, ignore that. And
ignore the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. Oh, it's R3. You start. Yeah. We're gonna just play through this and one other game, and I'm not gonna spoil what the other game is because you'll find out a little bit later today.
There we go.
Green Greens, what a good song, what a good
Well, let me just first off share a little story about my history with this game, because this was an important game for my childhood. I never actually owned this game. My cousins owned it, and I played it every time I went over to their house, and I never beat it. I would get to Dedede and lose to him every time. I didn't beat it until I was like 25 or 6 when it came out on the eShop, and I beat it in one sitting, and I was like, I cannot believe that it was that easy to beat Dedede.
Yeah.
He's very not that hard. Well, I might just be setting myself up for failure when we fight him in a little bit, but
I don't think so. This game is pretty easy. Kirby's not really about winning and losing the game. It's sort of just about
having
funness.
fun.
Yeah, funness of the experience, and it's kind of like kept that vibe like pretty much the whole time that it has ever existed.
And even the new one is just like a whole bunch of fun.
Yeah, it's great. So let's get a look at some of these enemies here. So Bronto Burt is the first enemy that we could talk about, because Green Greens is in this game and it's in the remake for Kirby's Superstar.
Yeah.
And he's like sort of like that round thing with the wings and the feet. And apparently they're kind of like bugs, even though they have eyes, which is interesting.
We'll find him here in a second.
Like maybe it's just the art style of the world. That's one right there. It looks like a bird or something, right?
But he's a bug?
Yeah, he's supposed to be a bug. So that's a thing. The next thing we can talk about is Cappy, which are those mushroom folks, which look like mushrooms in Kirby's Dream Land and in a lot of the other games. But, you know, actually they kind of look more like ghosts. Like if you look at them.
Well, and they're interesting because if you suck them, I think from far away, that you like split them. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that's different.
Yeah,
type of enemy.
I don't think that's this game.
Isn't there one where if you suck them, like you pull off their skin or something?
Probably.
And then they're like...
We can talk about how weird that is, or we can just let it be Kirby. But yeah, apparently... Oh, there it is, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a ghost hiding as a... Or maybe that's just the stock of them?
It's actually based on a Haniwa doll, which is a type of doll that you used to bury with the dead as a funerary object. And they're also, like, that's what the gyroids in Animal Crossing are based off of, if you ever got into Animal Crossing.
I did play some of it.
They kind of look like fire hydrants with, like, the scream mask on them.
Yeah.
Pretty similar to these guys. And, yeah, and you dig them up. And so, and probably in this, the reason they're mushrooms is because they're covered in the fungus of the dead guy that they were buried with. Is this,
are you just making this up? Because that could be it.
I mean, like, this is what a Haniwa doll is. This is what Haniwa.
Also, that was the Maxi Tomato, by the way.
Yeah, the classic Maxi Tomato.
Made.
Immortalized by Smash Bros.
Yeah.
But real talk, I don't know. That's me speculating based on facts. But that's the best I can do.
There is, what I love about this show is that all these games that I played when I was younger that seem so innocent, there are some really adult things in them where you're like, I mean, I'm glad I didn't know that, because that's kind of horrific as a kid to think about, like, that I'm just these things that are dead things.
Right, but in Japan, like, it's different because, like, that's, like, the stuff that's, like, obvious to them about their culture that we are just like, what? It's like a thing?
All right, here we go.
Whispy Woods.
Oop.
This song, though, can we talk about how tight it is? Whispy Woods, I think, is, like, one of the most iconic
Not
things.
just, like, even Kirby things, but, like, does anyone know who he is?
Yeah, I mean, well, in Smash Bros, I think, was a large reason why people know Whispy Woods so well. Wow, you were just flying through this.
Yeah, well, it's really easy. I can slow down a little bit, because there's, like, I'm on to new things. Do you have any lore for Whispy Woods?
In Nintendo Power one time, he was called the Larkspur Liar instead of Whispy Woods.
What is that? That sounds like a murderer.
It's
like
a type,
like a serial killer,
like
or
a
something.
slasher or something. Yeah, but I think the Larkspur Liar is a Larkspur. I think is a type of tree, right?
It could be. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
A little.
What was that?
That was like a microphone thing, and I believe Matt Pat did an episode about it, about like sound things and reference
like the
that.
weapons.
We talked about it was a Mortal Kombat. What's her face's?
Oh, her scream.
Sindel's
Sindel's
whatever.
scream.
Like I love this has like. Oh, I guess you can't go back. Some of them. I don't know. The door mechanics in this are pretty cool.
This game is another one of those games that was like a little bit later in the life of the Game Boy, 92. I compare this to Mario Land 1. It's like a joke.
Oh, come on. You gotta have something about these masked dudes.
I've got plenty of stuff. We're in Castle Lololo, right?
Yeah.
No? Yeah. Okay, let's see what we got.
There are these little question mark boxes that sort of remind me of
Mario. So Two-Face is the name of that mask enemy, I believe. And it's a it just turns around and has an angry face
when you try to suck it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a reference to some sort of Oni or some sort of Japanese ghost. I don't know enough about it to like tell you which one it is. And the Kirby Wiki's not doing me any favors. Check this out. Two-Face shares exactly the same name to a villain in the Batman franchise.
That is fascinating and totally unexpected.
And not grammatically correct. But that's the best we got on that.
Who is this little fellow, and what is he doing pushing these things that I then have to use again?
I don't know what he's doing.
Oh my god, I'm kidding.
What? He's just like causing you a problem.
I gotta get into it. Hold on, here we go. The sucking mechanics are a little bit less forgiving. They've gotten much easier as they go on. So
yeah, I think that they just sort of realize like what's fun.
Sometimes then you think you'll be good to suck, and then you'll just take a thing to the face.
Yeah. Was that thing a Waddle Dee?
It could have been. It's hard to tell, like in the early versions. I also love. I'm sorry. His falling looks. Look at when he falls. He's just like. It looks like the saddest, like unconscious fall ever.
He looks like he gave up.
What is Well, since this is the first game, what is this dude's story? Why are we...
What is the deal with Kirby, you mean?
Yeah.
You know, that's a good question. So Kirby... Okay, so Sakurai made him up, and he was originally just like a placeholder. That's a commonly known fact about him, is that the reason that he originally existed was just because he's like really simple, and they just were using him as a placeholder for like whoever was going to be in this game.
Yeah.
And his name was originally Twinkle Popo, and after a while, like, he just got so used to seeing Twinkle Popo or Tinkle Popo or Tinkuru Popo is the actual translation, that he just liked it more than whatever he was working on originally for the game, and so he just ended up being that. And then whatever, he also got involved with the anime, you know, the anime Right Back At Ya from
I do not.
what was it, on Fox or the WB? It was like the Kirby anime that was on like a little bit after our time.
I did not know that there was a Kirby anime.
Yeah, it's super weird. And
Was it about him eating things?
yeah, it was like just like the story of Kirby, and it had like Dedede and stuff. So, but here's what I want to show you is this screwed up picture of like one of the early appearances of Twinkle Popo, which, Mark, if you would be so kind as to throw this up, you can grab it from the Kirby wiki.
It looks like a weird, like those little ice cream vendors, like this would be a thing that you could get.
Like he looks like a bootleg of a character that doesn't exist.
Oh man.
I really hate how he looks. But yeah, that's him,
God.
Tinkle Popo. Tinkle Popo. And
I've heard though that like the Mario, or not the Mario, the Nintendo way of designing games is to like make the gameplay and the concept first, and then like the characters later.
yeah.
Okay, so now we got two of these guys.
What the hell are those guys? I don't think they're Waddle Dees. What are
See if
they?
I think I can get it from behind. There we go. Oh no. Shoot on you.
Maybe they're Waddle Doos?
Waddle don'ts.
Waddle Doos are the ones that have like the eye and they like shoot the beam, but that doesn't look like them either.
Oh god. Oh god. This used to give me so much trouble as a kid. I don't know, I just couldn't.
You're just outfoxing these guys right now.
Well, it's really, once you've got it down, it's pretty simple, but I don't know, for a kid with my like, God, how like 5-year-old fingers that had no,
5-year-old fingers?
that just couldn't handle
Yeah.
all the complex, oh hello, controls of this game. And goodbye.
I just have no idea what his name is.
Also, these explosions are tremendously violent. They like have like this weird sound.
They're like, you can just imagine their little bodies get shredded.
And explain to me, what's the 3? What's the significance of having 3? Oh god. Also, these stage intros are always these hilarious videos. There's so much weird.
Pause the game
things.
with the R3. Okay, so yeah, I don't know like what the deal is there, but those guys actually, if we talk just real quickly about them, Lo and La, I figured it out. So they're
That's
like
who they are?
it's an early version of the boss. Yeah, and so they are like blue and pink in the actual art from Kirby Superstar, and they're just like these weird little round things.
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
I mean, he like Kirby himself is a WTF, so I guess why wouldn't the other people be weird? There's no mouth. How do they eat?
I don't know. They remind me of like those things from Sonic that usually have like something rotating around them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anyway, that's it for today. We'll be back. This is level 3. We're going to do 2 more levels for you tomorrow on top of the game that we are going to be doing after this today. So find out about that later, and we'll see you later, man. Later, man.